today's video is going to be about my finding out how I was pregnant and pretty much the birth story. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about how I found out I was pregnant and the birth story. As you guys see, I added lights to my backdrop, but I didn't have enough right here. So I had to go and get some more lights, but I wanted to record this video for you guys so I could have something to put out for you. Before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up, and make sure you comment down below if you guys like this video or not, because I don't know what you guys like. I'm trying to put content out for what I think you guys like, but anyways, let's get started. I found out I was pregnant on August 8th, 2016. Yeah, I had to think back. My memory's bad. Yeah, because I had her last year. But anyways, how I found out, I had made spaghetti the night before, and I was working at daycare at the time, and when I was on my way to work, I felt really queasy and sick, and I just felt like I could just barf everywhere. Sorry, TMI, but that's how I was feeling. And so I end up, and I would when it was time for the kids to take a nap, I would just end up dozing off. It's like I could not stay awake. Little did I know, I had a little tiny human working up things in my body. So I end up taking a test just to see, and at the time my sister was here still in Wilmington, and so I took a test and it came back positive so fast. Like soon as I put the pee on the stick, like that, positive, fast. So I was pretty far along. So fast forward to a couple of weeks after that, I was 11 weeks. So I went to the doctor and I took a test for them, and it came up positive. And so I got my first ultrasound. She was so little and so cute. Anyways, I was 11 weeks and 3 days. And already she was just, you could see her little limbs and her little feet and hands and everything. She just looked like she was developing fast. When I say fast, I'm not sure how 11 weeks ultrasounds are supposed to look, because that was my first, but she looked like she developed fast. But anyway, so fast forward, after my first ultrasound, I was sick every day. It's I was sick every day after I found out I was pregnant. Before then, I only got sick once, you guys. But after I found out, I was just sick every single day. I was so tired of it. I would never throw up, but I was just so nauseous and just, all I could do was just lay in bed all day. So once I got about, I would say about 5 to 6 months, I was cleaning up one day and I just felt kind of off. And I'm just something's not right. So I ended up taking my blood pressure, and it was 100 over 100. It was so high. So me and Jason, we went to the hospital, and they ended up admitting me. I had to stay maybe 4 days, and I was supposed to find out the week prior, before I got admitted to the hospital, what I was having. I kind of figured it was girl. My mom, my sister, they was it's a girl. But as I was in the hospital, I found out officially that it was a girl. And Of course, Jason wanted a boy. My mom, she wanted a boy too. But she's here now, and we all love her, and she's the sweetest thing ever. But I like spent a couple days in the hospital. They ended up putting me on blood pressure medicine, which helped. And then after I got out, the pregnancy was good. It was flowing good. I would have to go to the doctor like every single week, not every month, but every single week I had a doctor's appointment. It was just sometimes it would be 2 times a week, but it was a lot. But once I got to 38, my doctor didn't want me to go over 39 weeks because of my blood pressure. I've never had blood pressure problems until I got pregnant. So once I hit 39 weeks, they called me to set up a date. Well, actually it was Monday. They called me. I had to call Monday to make sure they had a bed. I had to call like 5:30 a.m. So I ended up calling, and they had a bed. So Jason was at work. My mom was at work. My sister at the time, she had ended up moving out of town during my pregnancy. So she was still out of town in Winston-Salem. So she wasn't here. So I ended up like prolonging going to the hospital. I went and cleaned out my car. I went and did everything I could until somebody got off work. But anyways, they called me, and it was like, we're waiting for you to come in. And I was just like, is there any way I can come in at this certain time? She's like, no, that's not how it works. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I ended up going in at like 10:30 a.m. So they ended up getting me into the bed, getting the IV hooked up and all that Gucci stuff. So my mom ended up getting off work, and she came out, and Jason, he got off work and he came out. He ended up, staying with me through the whole time. But when they first started to induce me, they put me on Pitocin, which is to kind of kickstart a labor, but that didn't work at all. Like, it worked apparently for her to start for me to start having contractions, but you guys, I felt nothing. Like, nothing at all. The doctors and the nurses was like, you're having contractions, and I just didn't feel anything at all. Like, nothing. But I wasn't progressing enough to start pushing. So they end up giving me a pill to kind of open up my cervix. I stayed 3 centimeters the whole time. Like, the whole time I was there. So they induced me Monday. I didn't have mahogany until Thursday night. So I was in labor, didn't feel anything from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All that time, I didn't feel anything. When I say, like, it was crazy. It was like, what are you? Some kind of superhero or something? I was just like, no, I just didn't feel anything. So I think it was about Wednesday when they tried to, they checked my cervix. Oh my gosh, you guys, TMI, but that is the most painful thing to have somebody like fingers. Oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. I was just like, I'm ready to like get her out so y'all can leave me alone, like for real. So anyways, they just kept checking my cervix, and I was still at 3 centimeters. I would not budge. She wasn't budge. She was just stuck. So they end up giving me a Foley bulb, which kind of expands the cervix. That didn't work. So after that didn't work, they end up just kind of kept coming back and forth, kind of having me turn over to each side with a pillow in between my legs to kind of still expand my cervix. That didn't work. So my doctor burst my water, which was the nastiest thing ever. Like, oh, you guys, I'm not even gonna go into detail about it, but it was nasty. So she ended up doing that, and I think she did that Wednesday night. So I stayed, my water broke, and it was still enough fluid, I guess, for her to kind of survive in there. So that's when I ended up, it was like Thursday night when they said that she wasn't moving and that I was just gonna have to end up having a C-section. I was over it. I didn't even care about having a C-section, but before I had my C-section, I had to get two epidurals. The first one worked. It went in great, but the tape they use to put it in place, it snagged when the doctor took his hand from underneath, and it snagged. Sorry, guys. But like I was saying, the doctor it snagged and it pulled out. So he had to repeat and do another stick. That time stuck. The epidural worked for maybe like 5 hours. Yeah, it was like 5 hours. And then I just started feeling everything, like literally all over again. I still wasn't feeling contractions though. Like I didn't feel any contraction at all. So when it was time for my C-section, me and my mom got ready and got dressed. Jason didn't want to go because he didn't want to see, he can't stand looking at stuff like that. So it was me and my mom. They both dressed us up and got ready to go in the room. So as they took me back there, I ended up getting a spinal tap because the epidural had worn off. That worked much better than the epidural. I couldn't feel nothing from the waist down, like literally nothing at all. So they ended up transferring me to the surgery table, and they just made sure everything was okay, my blood pressure, and make sure they had everything together. So next thing I know, I just feel a lot of tugging. That's about it. I didn't feel any cutting or tugging. It was just a lot of tugging. And then next thing I know, Mojave's out and she's crying. My mom jumped up and she was so happy to see her. And my mom, she's fascinated by seeing stuff like that, which I think is weird, but she loves stuff like that. So all you hear is her little crying. She sounded so cute. I'm going to insert for you guys for when she was born. So cute. But that was a long journey. And then me and her didn't get out of the hospital until the next Monday. So I was in there literally a week trying to have her, had her. She came out perfect. She was 8 pounds, 8 ounces. She did have a little bit of jaundice, but after like a day or two, she was fine and we was able to get released and we went home. You guys, recovery, women, mamas, after you have a C-section, I'm not down on people who gives birth, hoo-ha, but recovery from a C-section is so hard. You're in like so much pain. You can barely move. Especially if your significant other is at work and you're home by yourself and you have to just get up and go to the bathroom, and you guys, it's the worst pain ever. It literally is. It hurts so bad, but she's here, I'm here, I'm healed. We're all happy and just loving on her. As you guys see from my other videos, she's a busybody. but she's so sweet and I love her. But I just wanted to give you guys a little story time of my pregnancy and my birth. And I hope you guys enjoy this story. Make sure you guys subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next video. Bye.